Hello, everyone, and welcome. So, my name is Karthik. I'm a senior product specialist. I oversee our endpoint management products, including Endpoint Central. As a technical support engineer, I assist our customers with the implementation, consultation, and troubleshooting. Welcome to this Endpoint Central training. And this is a 4-part series covering over 6 weeks, and we are in the third week. In this week, we'll be discussing on the application deployment and control for the laptops, desktops, and mobile devices. And once you participate in this series, you will be getting a certificate, and you can look at the URL for more information on that. As we mentioned, we will be looking at the application deployment, application control in this week. So this is the agenda of this webinar. So I will help you with the overview of the Endpoint Central solution, and then we'll talk about how we can deploy commercial or in-house application using the Endpoint Central. And then I'll be covering the self-service portal, how you can use it for the end users to install the application. And the later half of the webinar will be taken by my colleague Bhaskar, who will be helping more on the applications on the mobile device. So what is Unified Endpoint Management? So Unified Endpoint Management, as the Forrester defines, that any solution gives you a console as a centralized to help you in managing multiple devices, laptops, mobile devices, servers. So that is what they call it as Unified Endpoint Management. And with Endpoint Central, there are multiple features, as you could see on the screen, like application management, remote device management, web protection, data loss prevention. So these are some of it. And using the Endpoint Central solution, you can manage these endpoints like desktop, tablets, Chromebooks, to say few. And these are the operating systems we support in the Endpoint Central solution. The core capabilities of Endpoint Central. So we have categorized into these three: endpoint management. So in the endpoint management, you can perform the application deployment, automating the patch deployment, remote controlling. So these comes under the endpoint management. And then we have a second category, which is end user experience management. So you can have an insight of what is happening on the device, and you can perform metering for a software, to say few. And then the third category will be the endpoint security. So in the endpoint security, you can perform vulnerability management, application control, mobile security. So these comes under the endpoint security. And we have been recognized by the Gartner, and that has been the case for past few years. And this will be the architecture of the application deployment. So we have the Endpoint Central server, and using the Endpoint Central server, you will be deploying these applications. So agents have to be installed on the endpoint. So like a distributed workforce, again, we'll be seeing more on those in the upcoming slides. So as you could see, there are remote officers and there are remote workers. So you can able to manage all these devices using the Endpoint Central. So if it is going to be an enterprise application, you can upload it to the Endpoint Central and you can deploy it. And if it is going to be a store apps, then via the store apps, you can deploy it to the devices. Again, we'll be discussing all these in the upcoming slides. I will be explaining you. So we have taken an example of John, who is working in a tourism company. So in the company, there are multiple departments, as you could see on the screen, like marketing, operation, finance, sales, HR. So John's day-to-day activity is to manage all these devices. So John is responsible for managing the distributed workforce. And in their organization, in their business, they have servers, they have laptops, desktops, mobile devices, users connecting from home through the VPN, or users who are directly connecting through their internet without using the VPN. So John responsible is to manage all these devices. And we'll see how John can manage all these devices using the Endpoint Central solution. So as we discussed, you could see there are multiple devices that he needs to manage across the platform on multiple locations. And users connected via VPN, users connected via internet. So he is responsible to manage, and using the Endpoint Central, he can cover both the users who are connected to the VPN and also who's connected directly to the internet. So we'll talk about more on the application deployment in this week. So there are two major types of installation. One is the traditional applications like EXE and MSI, CAB, DKG for Mac. And the other is the modern applications like APK, IPA. So using the Endpoint Central, you can deploy both the traditional and also modern applications. The challenges in the application management. So handling too many applications from the help desk, and like there are certain applications which are widely used in the organization. So you can make them available to the users and you can make them to install. So we'll see how those can be done. So we'll first look at the templates, how you can deploy application using the predefined templates available in the Endpoint Central. And later part, my colleague will be covering how the same can be done for the mobile devices. I'll be talking on the computers section. And we'll take an example of Microsoft Teams because those the application is widely used. We have like 8,000 predefined application across the platform. So you can look at our templates and you can create the packages accordingly. So I will show it to you. So this is my console. In the software deployment, we have a section called templates. And you can choose based on the operating system and then look for the application for which you're looking to create a package. So in this case, I'm going with Teams. So when you search for Teams, you will see all the application available here. So you can select the package and then you can click on create package. So this way, the package gets created automatically. So you can choose across the platform. For Windows example, you could see an MSI already available. So we will help you in downloading the MSI and will help you in creating the package automatically. So you don't have to look for the installer file, or you don't have to look for the silent switches. So if silent switches are applicable for that application, you don't have to look for it. So we will have it everything in the template so that you can create the packages automatically. And once the packages are created, it will be available under the packages. You can select the packages and you can deploy them. So this is how you will be creating the packages using the templates. So as we have like 8,000 plus templates available in the Endpoint Central solution. Fine. So now let's look at the deploying Office 365 application to a specific department. So I will walk you through the steps involved in performing this Office 365 deployment using the Endpoint Central. We have a document available publicly. So in this document, you can see the prerequisites and we'll be discussing all these steps. So everything is available publicly in the document. But specifically for this webinar, I have created this document. So this document gives the step-by-step and I will help you in walking through these steps. And together we will review and then I will then demonstrate the process. So first we'll review these steps and then I will demonstrate. So this will be the plan. The first step is extracting the setup.exe from the Office deployment tool. So this Office deployment tool is something that you can download from the official Microsoft site. Once you download the exe, the Office deployment tool exe, you have to extract it. Once you extract, you will get the setup.exe. So now let me demonstrate you how it can be done. So I will go to the website, then click on download. And it will be downloaded. So once I extract, you can see the setup.exe. So that is the first step. The next step is generating the configuration.xml file using the Office customization tool. So you may wonder, what is this Office customization tool? So this tool gives you the granular control over the Office 365 deployment. So you can define the products that you would like to install, the applications you want to include or exclude, and how the licensing should be. And then you can also define the language and how the update should be handled. So everything that you can configure in the Office customization tool. So again, we'll be going to the Microsoft official website, and you could see in the Office customization tool, you will choose what is the Office suite, any Visio or project or any additional products that you would like to include, and applications like you want to add Excel, remove Excel, PowerPoint, for example, and then you'll be configuring the language and how you want to install the application and the activation. So once you have everything, then you can generate the XML. So this is the step 2. So for that, we'll go to the Office customization tool here, where you will be defining the architecture, the Office product, Visio if you want to include any additional products. So everything that you will be configuring it here. So this will be the second step. The third step is downloading the complete package. So now we have the setup.exe, which we have extracted it, and the XML file, we have generated it. So we have these two files. The next step is to download the complete Office package. So how to do it? So for that, you have to have the command prompt open as an administrator and go to the location where you have these two files, setup.exe and configuration.xml. And then you will be executing this command line, setup.exe/download, and then followed by the XML file. So let me show it to you. So first, I have these two files, configuration.xml and setup.exe. I'll go to the location in the command prompt, and then I will be executing this command line. So once I execute, the complete Office package will be downloaded. So in my case, as you could see, the Office package has downloaded. So this will be downloaded after you execute that command line. So that's the third step, downloading the Office 365 complete package using the setup.exe and the configuration.xml. Now the fourth and the final step will be creating the package. So how you want to create the package? So there are multiple options available for you. Like you can go with shared folder. So if you have a shared folder, you can have the installer files in the shared folder, and then you can locate the installer files. The other option you have is zip the file, because when it comes into the Office 365, there are multiple installation files which are required. So you can zip them and you can upload the zip file. So in my case, I have taken an example of from local computer. So I have zipped the package and they have uploaded it. And here you can see the command line that I have provided. Again, you don't have to worry. All these steps are available in our document. So everything will be clear. So you'll be providing the switches, and then you'll be creating the package. So once the package is created, the next step, you can deploy this package to the group of computers, which I will show it to you in the real time. Okay. So let me go to the product, software deployment. And here I will be looking for the Office 365. So before that, let me first show you how you can create the package. So click on Add Package. We'll choose the platform. So here where you will choose the package type, like an EXE or an MSI. And then how you want to locate the installer. As we discussed, you can go with the network share folder or from local computer. And you upload the file and you'll be providing the silent switch here. An additional features we have it while creating the packages, pre and post deployment activities. So based on your need, if required, you can use them. Since we have taken the example of Office 365, let me help you with an example how this pre and post deployment activities can help you. So before deploying the Office 365 application, let's say you want to check a free disk space, like a condition check, you want to do it. Only if the disk is free, you want to proceed with the installation. Or let's say you want to uninstall the software. So that's something you can do it as a pre-deployment. And once the Office 365 is deployed, as a post-deployment, you want to deploy a custom script. It could be any kind of a script, like PowerShell, BAD, you can upload it. Or you want to change some registry value or a key. So this way you can able to add the post-deployment activities. So based on your requirement, if you want to add any post or pre-activities, you can do it. So this is how we will be creating. So I already created a package for this webinar. So let me look for that package, Office 365 webinar. And let me modify to show you what we discussed in that writer document. So I've uploaded the zip file. So what I did, I have just selected the Office, the package which got downloaded completely, XML and setup.exe. So I've just zipped them and you can see the zip file here. So using this zip file, I have created this package. And then I have provided the installation switch here. So you may wonder, what if I go with the network share path? Again, we have that in the document. So if you want to go with the network share path way of deploying it, then we have the option for you. So you can provide the share path for the exe/configure and then the XML file. So this is how we'll be creating the package. The next step, the final step, will be deploying the package. Let me select the package, click on install. And when it comes into the deployment, you have a control with the help of the deployment policy. So this deployment policy provides you a granular control. So you can define the policy. So these are some of the policies I've created. And to help you, what are the options available in creating the policy? As an high-level overview, I will provide here. So this deployment policy gives you a complete control, as we discussed. So you can specify the preferred weeks, the preferred days, the deployment window. So that is what this deployment policy gives you as an administrator. So once you have the policy created, then you can associate the policy. So multiple policies can be created as well. So you can see the preferred weeks, the preferred days, the deployment window, pre-deployment activities. If there is anything, you can again specify it here. You can also notify the end user about the deployment. And you can also control the reboot or shutdown in the post-deployment. So this is the policy that you will be associating it here. And then you can target the computers. So specific group of computers. So there are multiple options you have in targeting the computers. So custom group is something that you can create within the solution. So I have created a group called sales. So now this way I can deploy this Office 365 application to the specific group called sales. Let me go back to the presentation. The next thing we'll be discussing is how to deploy the application using the self-service portal. So self-service portal is something that you can publish it for the end users and you can make them to install. If that application is required for them, they can deploy it. So again, I will show it to you how it can be done. So in the software deployment, you go to the self-service portal, click on publish software packages, and you can choose computer or user. And on the left-hand side, you can see all the packages you have created. You can drag and drop the packages that you want to publish. And then you can select the group. So in our case, going with an example of sales. So I have a sales group created already. I can target that. If you want to create a new group, you can create it. So custom group is something that you can create within the solution. And click on publish. So once you have done, the end user can access the self-service portal on the respective machine with the help of the desktop shortcut icon, or they can go to the system tray, right click on the agent tray, click on self-service portal. The similar way it can be done through the Mac as well. So once you launch the self-service portal, they can see the applications that you have published. All the applications that you publish will show up here and they can install. So without administrative rights, as an end user, they can install applications using the Endpoint Central with the help of the self-service portal. So you can publish most widely used applications and then they can install it through the Endpoint Central. So the second part will be taken by my colleague Bhaskar. So I'm handing the session to Bhaskar.
So let me introduce myself. So this is Bhaskar Govindhan. I'm a senior product consultant and associated with the management for the last 6 years. I will be taking care of the training and implementation for the customers. So in today's session, so we are going to be looking to the automate silent app installation. So again, I'm very thankful. So I can connect with you all via this training program. So in this session, I will be transfer the knowledge regarding the app installations for the mobile devices through the ABM or Android for work. So we have a workflow so where we can install the applications on the managed devices. As an admin, so let's consider John as an admin, and they wanted to be distribute the company applications to the managed devices without the user intervention. So we have the automatic silent app installation program, so which will be supported from the MDM. So with this option, so we need to add the application into our MDM module and app repository, and then we can distribute it to the managed devices via ABM or managed Google Play account. So first we can look into the Apple Business Manager, so which will allow to distribute the application for the Apple devices, for specifically iOS and iPad and the Mac devices. So what are the prerequisites that we have for when we are trying to push out the applications to the managed devices silently? So we need to get an ABM account. So this will be getting when we are trying to enroll devices via ABM, and also we are purchasing the devices from the authorized reseller. And the devices should be enrolled as a supervised. So we have two categories when we are trying to enroll the Apple devices. One is supervised, another one is unsupervised. So supervised will be considered as a corporate owned devices. And also we should purchase the required application in the ABM portal. I will show that how we can purchase the applications in the ABM portal in the following slides. So this is how it will be looks like whenever we are using the ABM, and there will be an account called under the settings, and we can create the VPP token. So let me take you to the control so we can configure the VPP token in our app repository. So under the management of mobile devices, we have a management and the app repository, and there we could configure our VPP token. So for this one, so we need to follow an instruction so where we can create a token in our ABM portal. So go to the settings and accounts. We have an option to create the VPP token. So this is how we can create the token for our already created the server for the MDM, and there we can download the token. Once we have downloaded, we can upload it into our MDM console. So we can update our admin email addresses here. So because it will be expired in 365 days. So whenever the VPP token getting expired, so it will trigger the notification to the admin. So we can prevent the token will be getting expired without the admin knowledge. So once we have uploaded and configured the VPP token in our MDM console, so we can go into the apps and books column in the ABM portal, and there we can search the applications which is publicly available on the store application, and then we can choose the purchase number where we can choose the number of quantity, and if the prices is available for the respective applications, so we have to mention that. So once we have choose the quantity, so then it will be synced with our MDM console. So which are the application we have purchased from our ABM? So that will be synced and it will be listed over in this app repository. So once it is get synced, so where we can export and distribute the application to the managed device. That will be available in the same app repository, so where we can choose the application. So we can filter out the respective applications from the app source. So if we go with the Apple Business Manager, we could see the sync via IBM. So there we will have the option to distribute the application to the managed devices. Whenever we try to push out the applications, so we have two options where we can select the group. So in case you have a multiple department and you wanted to be push an application to the multiple devices which you're managing under the department wise, you can create the device group. Once we have created, you can choose the groups from here, and then with the silent installation, so you can distribute the application to the managed devices. This will be get installed on those devices without the user intervention. So this is how it will be get installed. So whenever we are pushing the application to the managed devices via AVM. So now we can look into the managed Google Play, how we can distribute the Android store applications. So we have a option so where we can configure the managed Google Play account under the app repository. So which is doesn't require to be logging into the every app Play Store account with every devices which we are managing. So only thing we need to configure this centralized account in our ABM app repository. Once we have configured, so this will be get applied to all the managed devices for the Android, which is enrolled as a corporate owned devices. We can push the application silently. So currently we do support with the generic Google account, and also we do support with the G Suite account. So we can configure that under the managed Google Play account. So this is how it will be looks like. So when you are choosing the generic Google account, it will be showing the get started, and then we can follow the instructions. So where we can provide our business name by clicking on next. So it will redirect to the data protection officer, and there you can provide all the information regarding your Google Play account, and then it will be get created. So once it is get created, you can see in this way, and also you can access the Play Forward with this URL, and there you can approve the applications for your app repository. Just you need to search the application in this place, then it will ask you to approve the application for your managed Google Play account. So by clicking on approve, so this applications will be get approved. What we are doing with the approve, so we are going to be whitelist the applications for your MDM management. So whatever the devices you are going to be managed, your applications will be considered as an approved application from the MDM console. So then the devices will be get installed with the applications which we have approved from our managed Google Play for work. So there end user can see that the process of the app installation, and also it will be get added. So whenever we are trying to enroll the devices as a BIOD, so that will create the work container, and within the work container, so the applications which we have pushed from our MDM console will be get added. So you can identify the application which is actually distributed from the MDM with the briefcase option. So this is how we can install the application for the managed Google Play, and also we can do with the ABM account with the VPP location token. And now we can see, so instead of we are going with the store applications, how we can manage our enterprise applications. So mostly whenever we are trying to manage the mobile devices, we have some business application which is in-house built and customized applications which we wanted to be distributed to the managed devices, not via the any stores. So in that case, we will be helping you with the enterprise app distributions. So which is doesn't require for the AVM or managed Google Play account. So where you can directly upload the applications into your app repository. And also you can manage your multiple versions of the application. For example, you have a one application which is business owned, and you have a multiple versions. One is actually working in the test environment, and another one is in a sandbox, and another one is a production. And before you are distributing the production versions to the managed devices, which is handling in the production area, you want it to be tested. So there you will have the option to test the application for the test devices by approving the versions in your MDM console. So for example, so we have a application type here. Just we need to choose the application with enterprise one, self-hosted, and there we could see the applications which has a different type of versions for the same application. So there you could see the approved versions, which will be considered as a approved application for the production environment. And you can approve this, you can distribute this alone without approving the application for the testing purpose. And once it is get completed the test environment, so then you can just need to approve the application. So whatever the managed devices got installed with the application, once you have approved the tested version, it will be automatically deployed to the managed devices. And how we can add the application. So whatever the category that we have for the managed enterprise applications, we have an option here, so which we can go with a self-hosted application for the Android, which will be supported with the APK file format. So just we need to select the file from the local, and then it will be get added into your app repository. And the same way, we have the Apple Enterprise application with the IPA file format, which will be supporting here. So just you need to drag and drop, or you can upload the file here. So once it is get uploaded, you could see the application in this list, and then you can upload it. So if you wanted to be add the new version of the application for the same enterprise one, so just you need to choose the application here. And there you will have the option with the update. Again, it will ask you to upload the latest version APK here. And the same way you will have the option for the IPA file for the Apple devices. Once you have uploaded the latest version, it will ask you to choose the approved version, and then you can choose the version to be installed on the managed devices. So this is also will be same level of the distribution options. So you can choose the groups and devices individually, and then you can distribute it. And we have one more option, so which will allow you to add the application into the app catalog. So if the devices got enrolled like an Android, so the MDM app is an agent, it will be get installed with the MDM app by default. And inside the MDM application, so there will be an option called MDM app catalog. So we can push the application to the MDM app catalog, and whenever the end user requires that application, they can get it to the app catalog and they can install it manually. So it's like a workflow on the same, the self-service portal. So we can allow the end user to install the application whenever it is required. And we can see some few scenarios. So how we can allow the specific applications only on the devices, which can be restrict the end user to using any other options on the devices. We call it as a kiosk mode, so which will be allowing you to create it with the enterprise applications as well. For the kiosk mode, so we have the profile configuration. For example, let me choose the Android here. So we have a kiosk here. So we can create it with a single and multiple app mode. So if you're going to be allow the end user to use only one application on the devices, then you can choose the applications here. And it's not only for the applications, also you can add the web applications. You can add the web shortcuts. So for your web application, then it will be created applications here. So then you can choose it from here. So choose an application for the single app mode. Then the end user screen would be locked with this one application, so where they will not have any other access on the devices. And the same way, so if you wanted to be allow them to access for the multiple business applications, so you can choose the multiple applications here, and also you can choose the web applications. Then, so the devices will be locked with the allowed applications. They will have the access only for this application on the managed devices. And also you will have the more device restrictions options as well whenever you are configuring the kiosk mode. So that will give the option with the advanced mode, and where you can enable the settings in case they wanted to be have access to the Wi-Fi, which can be allow them to connect with the local network. And if the some applications which we are allowing in the allowed application will require some screen orientations. That also can configure default whenever we are applying with the kiosk mode. And the same way, we can do it for the iOS and iPad devices as well. So we can create the single app mode. So let me choose a single app here, and then we can view that as well before we are applying this policy to the managed devices. So this is how it will be looks like when it is in the devices for associated with this kiosk mode. And for the multiple app mode, so you can go with the multiple application for the same. Then the screen would be locked with the allowed applications. So this is how we can control the devices with a specific application. This will be included for the enterprise and as well as the store applications and web applications with the shortcuts. So this is how it will be like looks like. So when we are allowing only for the map application, for example, if it is in a any transport organization and managing the devices with a single application, and only the map application should be allowed on the devices, then we can go with the single app mode. And in case it's in a business like a medical representative, so they have using a multiple business applications, so we can configure in this way. And also we can customize this screen from the MDM console kiosk model itself. So if you wanted to be customized this screen, so based on the requirement as we want it to be looks very nice when it is applied to the managed devices, we can configure, we can add, create the pages and the folders to configure and customize this device's screen. So now we can look into the second scenario. So how we can prevent the end user to install the any malicious and unwanted application which is not approved by the MDM console. So we are actually whitelisting the application by adding into the app repository from the store, or also it's an enterprise application. And in case in the business need, the end user should be able to restricted with this application installation, so which has not been approved any other stream like a store or any other APK file. If they got it, they should not be installing. We can restrict it with this option. So which is allowed with the restrictions for the profile configuration. So let me choose the Android for example now. So with the restrictions under the applications level, so we have the option which we can restrict to install any application which is not approved by the MDM, even though it is in a profile owner which is enrolled as a BIOD and the device owner which is enrolled as a corporate one. So the BIOD will not allow the end user to install the application within the work container. And also we can restrict them with the uninstalling the applications. So for example, as a business, we have been installing a business application on the managed devices, which supposed to be not uninstalled by the end user. Then we can use this restrictions format, and then we can apply this policy. And also we have one more option. So if we don't want to be restrict for the end user to install or uninstall for all the application, we wanted to be go with only for the specific application, then we have the option which will allow us to restrict with this option. We can go with this app permissions. If we wanted to be restrict for only for the specific application, just we need to block app uninstallation, which is allowed here. If we have saved this and distributed this application, so the end user will not be uninstall the specific applications. So this is how we can control the end user to install or uninstalling the applications which is not approved by the admin. So we are available for the next 15 minutes where we can answer all your questions, and it will be in a live Q&A. And also we have our panelist, which is actually answering all your queries in our chat. So you can shoot out your questions in the chats again. So we will be answering that. And also you can rate us this training sessions with a 1 to 5 rate, and 5 is the best. So you can share your rate after the session. And also you can share about experience about this training session and about your product experience in this social media platform like a X platform and also the Facebook and LinkedIn platforms. And the next training sessions will be scheduled for the asset management for the modern management devices, which will be covered with the Windows 10 and 11, and also the Mac devices, how you can manage it with our MDM console, and as well as the Endpoint Central, which is like an UEM the solution. So if you would like to have a personalized demo, so where you have more questions and regarding the product and how you wanted to be manage the devices, and also you have multiple business use cases, you can reach out to us and you can initiate the request for the personalized demo. So our scheduler team will arrange the personalized demo as well as the POC, so which will be covering all your queries in that session separately for your requirement. And thank you very much once again. So for this opportunity to connect with you all with this training session. So we can meet in the next session.